Once they love you forever. They will never betray you. And it is a beautiful thing. We do not have it anywhere in the Western world. I don't want to put down my country. I love America for many reasons, but I want to share these differences so that Americans understand. In Russia, there is not a money mentality of any kind. Russians do not help you so that they can make money doing it. Russians help you because you have a need and they can address it. So most, in fact, all government services are free. You can go anywhere you want and talk to them and get their advice and get the ball rolling for any documentation, any problems you may have. Russians, in many regards, are freer than Americans, and I will tell you why. They do not have any personal debt of any kind, basically, unless they want to go and buy some big yacht or some big house in the country, which doesn't happen very often. So they are basically, for the most part, debt-free. They do not have any medical expenses, nor do they have to pay for any health insurance of any kind. You can go to a doctor's office free, or you can go to a private clinic. We did both. We went to both places depending on services we needed. The biggest medical bill I ever had was $300 I had a mini stroke 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It landed me in the hospital overnight. I had to see a neurologist and a cardiologist. I had an EKG done, cardiograms, ultrasounds, and an MRI. And I stayed overnight and had homemade food in the hospital in a private room with a private doctor who spoke English, and it cost me $300 American. The whole thing. I'm no expert on Russian history or sociology per se, but I've done a fair amount of reading. I think that just my gut tells me that Russia has always been, until Soviet times anyhow, a totally agrarian nation. And so people always just bartered back and forth, and the community, they have a community mentality. They do not have an individualism mentality in Russia. So regardless of politics, dear American friends, Russians could care less one way or the other. They will take care of themselves and their own. So when you become a trusted member of that Russian community, whether it's in Moscow, whether it's way out in the boondocks in Siberia in a little village filled with old babushki who have never left their houses, once they love you forever. When you look at a Russian's face at first, if you're on the street, on a bus, in a shop, in the metro, everybody thinks they're mean, rude people, because a smile is reserved for those who are closest to you. You do not give a disingenuous smile to everybody and look like an idiot. They think you're the town idiot if you're smiling at everyone. So you do not smile until you have come to love those people. So as we got to know these people, they started to smile more and more and more. And when a Russian starts smiling, they don't stop. Then they start feeding you. They start giving you everything. They give you their chocolates. They give you their animals. They practically give you their children. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous, kind of. Okay. The majority of doctors in Russia are women. The majority of dentists are women. The grand majority of lawyers are women. The huge majority of judges are all women. They were expected to become scientists, engineers, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, biologists, research technicians, And they all went into these fields, economists, and they are still in those fields today. Now, do they make the same wage? No, they don't. Some do, but most make 10 to 30% less than men in the same fields. Okay. But they are highly respected. And the viewpoint, and you can ask even young Russian women this, what do you think about feminism? And I'm talking about women 25 to 45. They will say, we already do everything. Why would we want to do all of the men's work as well? We don't understand the Western idea of feminism. Why do Americans think we are all bad people? And I said, well, let me tell you, people, not all Americans think that way. Some do, but we don't all think that way. Most Americans are just as curious about Russia and knowing what life is like there as you are about us, about you knowing about what our life is like. And I said, I think we need to start at the bottom, at the grassroots, just getting to know each other personally. Leave the political and media world on the side. Don't let it influence you in any highly personal way, and go and make friends with those people. You know, I've often thought astronauts need to rule our nations because they get along better than anybody else.